Have you ever seen a flower that looks like it was created by an alien? Well, meet Passionflower, or Passiflora incarnata. This is one of nature's most mesmerizing medicines, good for calming the mind, easing anxiety, and helping us get a deep and restful sleep. It's become very popular over the years, so I want to get into it with you. All right, are you ready? Let's go. This wild native vine grows all across the southeastern United States. We've planted it here in our greenhouse to enjoy its beauty and harvest its medicine. There are over 400 varieties of passion flower, so make sure if you're going to grow this one, you've got Passiflora incarnata for the medicine or Passiflora edilis for the edible fruits. Passion flower is a hardy little vine with big personality, and those intricate flowers that you see, they are uniquely bisexual, which means they have both male and female reproductive parts. So they can either grow fruit, or if these times are scarce, they will stop producing the fruit and just have the male parts so pollinators can get to them. This plant can grow in a lot of different climate zones. So I have it growing in our greenhouse here in Canada, even though it's native to southeastern United States, because it can handle this climate zone. The only challenge is I probably won't get fruit here, but that's okay, because we're looking for the leaf and the vine as medicine. As you likely know, passion fruit is a very popular food as well. We're not going to get any on our plants, but I wanted to share with you what it kind of looks like. Basically, it looks like a giant egg, kind of an apricot type shape, and it's usually hollow with a little bit of a sac inside with slimy, gooey stuff and little black seeds. So I brought some that I kind of have commercially here. This is a passion fruit puree, and I'm just going to show you how that looks. It's very tasty, and in this case, we would use this passion fruit puree with a little bit of water to make a refreshing drink. You can see all these little seeds. These are edible and crunchy. Some people like to avoid them, but there's a real gelatinous quality to passion fruit. The fruit is quite tasty and considered a delicacy in many places. So I'm going to try a little bit of this myself. I love the crunch of the seeds and the flavor that it has. It's one we've often sought out when we go down south. I just love how cool this flower looks. It's just really, really unique. To me, that is part of its medicine, is it calms down and has this otherworldly quality. Because this plant grows natively in North America, there's a lot of indigenous wisdom and traditional use around passion flower. Interestingly enough, while the modern use of passion flower is mostly focused on the leaves and the stem and the vines, the Cherokee, the Houma, and other indigenous cultures typically focus on the root of this plant as a medicine, suggesting it has qualities such as anti-inflammatory effects, good for earaches, as a blood tonic, and other benefits similar to this. I find passion flower to be an invaluable medicine in the modern age, so I'm going to harvest some of our leaf and our foliage and our vine to make into medicine today. I'm going to turn it into a tincture, but I want to talk to you about why and what some of the herbal actions are. Its main herbal actions are as a nervine to calm down the nervous system, as an anxiolytic to work with anxiety and tension in the mind, and as a hypnotic to help us with insomnia and circular thinking, especially at nighttime. So secretly, I sprinkle it into all kinds of herbal formulas because I think you might have some of those same overactive qualities that I do. Passion flower also has antispasmodic, anti-inflammatory, and analgesic qualities, which means it's really good for numbing pain and releasing tension in spastic tissues, such as menstrual cramps or muscle cramps. The energetics of passion flower are cooling and slightly bitter, meaning it's really good for people who are tense, overstimulated, and run hot. Is that you? From a biochemical perspective, passion flower has a number of invaluable compounds, including a wide suite of flavonoids, some of which have been shown to bind to GABA receptor sites to promote relaxation. Others can be anti-inflammatory and really have that overall antioxidant quality of this plant. We also see that it's got a lot of alkaloids in them, including an MAO inhibitor known as harmaline. This is one that should be careful when and is counterindicated with certain drugs, so be warned about that. These compounds, though, are also shown to help work with social anxiety, tension, and depression, stimulating norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin. There's also a whole lot of other active compounds, including coumarins, esters, phytosterols, formic acid, and so much more. So who's passion flower for? I consider it a plant for those of us that are overthinkers, lying awake at night, replaying conversations, mulling over regrets, stressing about things we can't change, or doing our to-do list till 2 a.m. in the morning. Passionflower can help you let go, slow down, and relax into the moment. Not only is it good for insomnia and anxiety, this plant's also really good for muscle tension, menstrual cramping, hypertension, and those of us who are recovering from addiction or nervous system exhaustion. It's also gentle enough for kids, and so could be used for things like teething, bedwetting, restlessness at night, or those who have overactive hyper kids. I know a few of those. The best part of the medicine is really in the leaves and these little grabber vines. I'll be chopping some of this up fresh to make a fresh plant tincture, but I'm also going to chop up some to dry and turn into tea for the winter months. I like to include a few of these flowering heads. There are some bioactive compounds, obviously, in the flowers, but really a lot of the medicine I'm looking for is in the leaves. Passionflower is a really hardy vine, so it should overwinter well here in our greenhouse. I'm not going to harvest a lot because I'm really wanting to encourage it to grow across this wall so that I can start to make it into tincture to add to some of my herbal formulas I like to give to clients. This plant loves to climb, so if you're in an area where it grows outside naturally, I highly encourage you to grow it on trellises or transplant it onto the sides of a building and really have this as a medicine all around you. It doesn't take much, and it's easy to harvest as much as you need annually in a sustainable way from a healthy stand of passionflower. That should probably be enough for my needs this year. I got a basket full, and it only took me 5 minutes to harvest. This plant is native to North America, but interestingly enough, most of the passionflower on the open market comes from Europe, particularly Italy. I highly recommend that if you have a little plot in your garden or on your porch, you grow this one for yourself so you can use it as medicine there. As far as dosage goes with passionflower, when you're making a tea, we're going to do 2 grams approximately in an infusion, which is usually like a Botany style. This can be used 3 to 4 times a day, although I usually recommend people do this later in the day in case it has a little bit of a drowsiness effect for them earlier. This doesn't happen for everybody, but for some it does. When it comes to the tincture, I highly recommend making a 1 to 2 fresh tincture, that is with the fresh plant material at 75% alcohol. This can then be dosed at 2 to 6 droppers daily. Again, more likely in the evening if we're trying to work with it for insomnia and restlessness at nighttime and helping to overwhelm. But when it comes to things like ADHD, yeah, throughout the day for tension, anxiety, maybe when you go into a social situation, a little passionflower might be the right thing to work with. If you're working with dried passionflower and want to make it into a tincture, you want to go with a 1 to 5 ratio at 40% alcohol. Again, same dosage, 4 to 6 droppers daily. Some people like to work with this in a capsule. In that case, around 1,200 milligrams, 2 to 3 times daily is recommended. Lastly, if you find yourself in a room with someone who's raging, just get a fire hose out and spray them with passionflower tincture. I'm sure everything will be fine. Passionflower teaches us the medicine of surrender. Its tendrils remind us of how our tangled thoughts can be artful if we just slow down and breathe. This is for the busy mind, for those that are on the go, for those that feel a little overwhelmed, and not by forcing stillness, but by just allowing it to happen naturally. I hope you get out and tune in with Passionflower. I know it's been an invaluable medicine for me, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments how you've worked with this. Is this a medicine that you resonate with, or are there other nervines and other herbs for anxiety that you prefer? All right, thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time, friends. Ciao for now.
Rikiki-coo-coo-coo.